Hey, everybody. Hi, Roman.
Bonjour.
Hi, boy, we got a good show again. Here we are Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Man, hi, Cat. Wow.
Hello. How are
That
you?
was a shocker. But anyway, hang on here. But I don't know what to say now. But here we are. But anyway, we got a good show. It's Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Hanukkah, and all that stuff. And well, we got Pierre on today or tonight,
Hi, Pierre.
and he was going to be surrendered for aggression, right?
Yeah,
Or he did get surrendered for aggression.
he did get
That puppy?
aggression.
That's a puppy. How old is he, Cat?
Puppy. He just turned 11 weeks.
And they were actually afraid of him. He was so
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take it.
and what's happened here is, I mean, it happens. I mean, we've seen it before. Lizzie was the same situation. She was at 16 weeks, I believe it was how old she was. And same thing. I think we're confusing what is happening possibly, or they're Googling it, and we know that there's a bunch of bad information out there along with good information. So how do you filter through it, right? So Kat, what can you tell us about that guy?
Well, they said that he was aggressive, that he had bit the owner, the male owner, that he had tore his shirt when he tried to brush him. And he said that he was food aggressive. Whenever they tried to take anything out of his mouth, he bit them. Well, first night I had him, we tested out the food aggression. Had my senior dog up close by him. I put a cracker in his mouth. I took the cracker out of his mouth. Nothing. No reaction at all. And he did give Taz the side eye, but other than that,
holy cow! I would have wet myself.
He gets brushed at least once a day and never has been aggressive with the brushing at all.
So basically, he's a puppy.
He's a puppy. We
with
with
needle teeth.
Yes,
he's got. Boy, look how adorable he is. And we've got a few pictures. Now this is the day you went and got him, right?
Correct.
How far did you have to go to pick him up?
I only went an hour. He was about 2 hours away in West Plains, and so we met halfway in Mansfield, and that was an hour after I got him home. Okay, so that's at your place. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I love that picture because is he looking at the rest of the pack? Is that what he's looking at? No, actually, there was a gentleman across the alley working on the roof across the alley, and he was there barking and guarding and doing everything that a Great Pyrenees is supposed to do. And he seems to be mingling. Yes, and that's him doing the same thing, barking with my male peer at some people across the street. Awesome. Cool. What a boy. What a boy. And you're going to go ahead and foster him. Is that what we're hearing? Yes, we don't anticipate him to be here very long after Christmas, but yeah, we're going to foster him. He was supposed to go to a foster, and we got an emergency for 2 more pups, and so we kept him, and they took the other 2 pups. All right. Well, he's a good-looking boy. Classic puppy-looking Pierre, or classic Pierre-looking puppy. Yeah. Wow. And ain't that amazing? So now I wonder, and we made a video for him. I said, is it okay if we play a cat? Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We did a little video for this boy.
we don't know why they determined that he was aggressive. We just
I think he can be mousy, and puppies are, and with his little needle teeth still.
Oh boy,
it can hurt, but he's not aggressive. He has shown no sense of aggression, and he loves to learn. He's a very fast learner.
Wow, and he's able to. And plus, you've got some peers there that he can learn from them also.
Yes.
And I love that part. And I forgot to make you big. Sorry. He's supposed to be the superstar. And so, well, look at him. It's just all puppy.
He's all puppy.
And for whatever it's worth, I think his name fits him perfectly.
He's gotten to where he knows how to go outside. He just becomes a puppy and misses the door before he gets out because he's forgotten and played too hard. But he's not had accidents. He spends the night in our room on the floor. He stays there all night. He uses the doggy door in the middle of the night to go potty. He comes back and lays right down.
Okay. Now I do know that a lot of people, and we've come across them over the years, that they just get the wrong information on what these dogs are capable of doing, especially at that age. And he's not the first one that we've dealt with that they got him at 8 weeks old and put him in with the goats. He's not the first one. So they're being told that by, well, the breeder that they're supposed to trust. So, and we got a nice freeze frame on Cat, but we got a good shot of we got a heck of a good shot of Pierre. There, she's starting to come back. So, all right. Okay. Now we also have a surprise guest. And Kat's going to stay up with us. And we're going to bring up, hopefully he's going to stay up with us. It's going to start taking bandwidth, but here we go. We have a young man with us. And who do you have there, Glenn?
This is Gus.
Gus.
Yep.
Now, in our little rescue, we call him Gus Jr. Why is that?
Right. That is because he reminds Linda of the Gus that she has. So he is Gus Jr.
That's
He's
right.
The young version.
Gus is very well known in our rescue. That's our fearless leader, our den mother, whatever you want to call her. But she's got everybody's back, and she has Gus Senior, and
yes, he does.
Yeah, and he's got the deepest bark that I've ever heard out of a Pierre, and it's always timing is perfect. Whenever we're on the phone, Gus wants to talk too. So, wow. So, boy, I know you can't tell us a lot about him. We haven't had him all that long, but he looks like he likes attention.
He loves attention. He will stay here as long as I will let him. He's somewhere, I believe, the same between 1 year and 2 years old. Right now, he's weighing in about 77 pounds. Needs to put on some weight. He's a little bit thin towards the back section.
He's fluffy, but you can't see it because he's fluffy.
Correct.
Yeah.
I just actually picked him up yesterday.
Okay.
Met him in the afternoon and brought him back, and he's just been stuck to me like glue.
I see. Wow. Wow. So now we're hoping to have big plans for him, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're going to actually go and do a meet and greet with another dog tomorrow. See how he does.
Good. And
well, now that he's been with you a little bit, he'll probably be a little more relaxed and ready to do a meet and greet.
That's what I'm hoping. And, he's had nothing steady to get, to count on. He's been all over the place. And he's just been thrown into a bunch of different situations, I think, in his life. And he needs to get some roots, get calm, get comfortable with a person, and then start bringing them into meeting future people.
Yeah. And one of the things that the Pyrenees relies pretty heavily on, and that's stability.
Yes.
Stability is very important with this breed. I'm sure it's with all breeds. I only work with this breed. So
he is a total cuddler. He loves the attention. I go for walks. I can basically just let go of his lead or just hold at the very end and know he's not going to be more than 6 inches from my side. Just walking along, enjoying everything we do.
His eyes are mesmerizing. He was looking square into the camera.
Hey, this way, Gus. Here we go.
Wow.
He's beautiful.
He's absolutely beautiful. So wow, best of luck there, Gus. Glenn, wow. What other news do we have on Facebook? I mean well, usually it's on Facebook. So donations. All right. We just took in another puppy. Everybody knows that puppies, well, they can get kind of expensive. So please consider donating. And Cat saved Pierre's life, literally. Okay. Without a foster, I mean, he was out of options, just like the video said. He was absolutely out of options. And fostering is very important. And
yeah, they were going to shoot him.
They were going to shoot him. All right. And that's why Cat, well, went when she did. So that's where you go to foster. And if you can't foster, you can sponsor a dog. Okay. And what that entails is that, well, you pick up, you sponsor the dog, you buy his food and hopefully his vet visits if you're able to handle that. And then we try to set it up to where you get personal updates on the dog. All right. One-on-one sometimes. And it's actually a pretty cool system there. And if you are just, go ahead.
We have Roman whenever you come across an issue that you think might be troubling to the dog, and Roman's right there on the spot, ready to help.
And there's where you go to donate. All right, GPRescue.com, donate. So, and we, fosters, they make everything happen, but the donors, you guys make it possible. And without the donors, the fosters couldn't make it happen. So, and it's a big family here. And boy, that's a good looking boy. He's just laying there, just soaking that all in.
That's it.
Right.
Doesn't have a care in the world at the moment. He's just happy as can be.
GPRescue.com. If it's happening, that's where it's happening. All right. A lot of information there. You got any? There's a breed basics section in there, and gives you a little bit about the breed. If you're having problems, reach out. Rescue's here for support too. So now we got. Boy, that's a good looking dog you got there. But I tell you, he's almost as good looking as Pierre, isn't he, Cat?
Almost. I'm a little partial.
Right. And these are 2 new dogs that came into rescue. And we kind of have another type of pandemic going on here, or maybe an epidemic, because we're covering it in this country. And these dogs are being surrendered everywhere. Shelters, rescues. My shelter here in Clark County, Ohio, she told me, I was hoping she's going to be on, but she couldn't make it. And that's okay. She said that when they can't take them, they go dump them, so they have to go get them. And what happens there, if they're full, this is county run. They have a very good relationship with the humane societies in different counties and stuff. And they've been very, very good about moving the dogs out so nobody had to be euthanized for space. All right. And man, I tell you, she's telling me how hard that's starting to get because everyone is full.
Well,
what is happening?
Like 2 rescues that we just took yesterday, Ross and Monica. Mm-hmm. They were from somebody who dumped them, and the animal control had to go pick them up because they wouldn't surrender them. And now we have them so they wouldn't be euthanized.
Yep. And what the heck's happening? Roman, what's your take on that? What is going on here?
Well, I think it's easy to call the term recycling dogs, dog recycling, because nowadays it's very easy. You order something on those online websites, you don't like it, you send it back, get your money back. You go to a store, you buy something, you build something, you're done with your tool, you go back to the home, whatever you're building
So
store, you bring it back
culture,
again.
this
Yeah,
is
it's kind of like
changing
a
culture.
culture. It's a culture thing. Um, However, we have also COVID kicking in. And so this
Well,
is a kind of like a combination of things. If you look into the statistics right now, just in New York, there are about 1,300 dogs surrendered every month.
I think
Okay.
Missouri's got him beat. It feels like it. Okay.
The other thing that happens here is that people got easy dogs when the shelters had the need for people to come and pick up dogs. There was no home control, there was nothing. Just come and pick him up, kind of thing. And so literally shelters emptied out with no home visits, with no education. People were bored. The dogs became entertainment and enrichment. Now, entertainment because we didn't have a job, because we have to stay at home. Enrichment is because we have nothing else to do, being on the phone and taking the dog out for a walk. That's it. Plus, many people hoarded dogs. They took more dogs on they can handle because they're at home, right? And now all of a sudden, work changes and people have to go back to work. Meanwhile, they have already separation anxiety going on. They didn't see that coming. Then they have financial problems. That was likely to happen. And then some people get overwhelmed with behaviors or moving, or landlord doesn't allow the pets. Now he figured out that he can check the houses after COVID. Now he can move around. He can check the houses. Then cost of paid maintenance is expensive. So if we see statistics, moving right now is 7%. Landlord complaining is 6%. Too many animals in the household, 4%. Cost of pet maintenance, 5%. And these are only the dogs who are being surrendered to the shelter. This is only 25% of all the dogs are shifting hands every day, because the other ones are surrendered through friends, through family.
rescues.
Okay. Not rescues are not included. Rescues
Oh,
and
those.
shelters
Okay.
are in the 25%. The rest of the 75% are all over the place. Nobody knows. And plus, we have those who are just being dumped on the street and somebody else finds them. So we don't know about these guys anyway. And so I think we have to be very aware of that. And I think the education is very important. And of course, behavior issues are now in the upraise. Why people surrender the dog, like the puppy. And there are lots of puppies being shifting hands right now. And then we have those happy Facebook rehoming pages. Like
Yeah.
literally, I had to unfriend myself from a couple of pages because I was simply invited to them. And if I wanted to do a count, but I lost count. Daily, 30 to 40 dogs in one or two groups are being shifting hands every day. Now,
this rescue was started over a group because of what she saw was going on in a group. And I will say that I've seen a group that actually, I mean, they do their best to make sure everything is done correctly and the dog's safe. All right.
right.
And there are groups like that, but man, there's so many groups out there for the rehoming. How do you know which one's good? Do your homework.
Right. Well, the other thing we see is that the majority of surrendered dogs, like 50%, are between 5 months and 3 years old. They're all young dogs.
I think that is a lot of backyard breeding during the pandemic also. You were home, so you bred your dog, and so now there's a plethora of puppies everywhere.
Yeah.
Backyard breeders are a big problem. All right. They won't take their dogs back. The Indie Great Pyrenees Rescue posted a big post on her page about a supposedly reputable breeder in Indianapolis that won't take the dogs back. So, and she made a big post on that and encouraged a complaint. So it's not just backyard breeders. It's breeders that, well, leads you to believe at least, or maybe at one time were reputable. Mm. Either way, they're still producing great Pyrenees.
Well, one thing that I see often is that there's a lot of misinformation and people are guided to surrender the dogs because they're scared. Like the puppy, for example, right? Or other dogs, like a dog is growling at my children and just people literally losing it. They don't have money to hire a trainer. So that goes all the way down the back burner. And then what else options do they have that doesn't cost money? Well, surrender the dog. Maybe we get our money back. And dogs are being shifting homes like 3 or 4 times in that 3 or 4 months that come up in the most sensitive times, like that puppy that's being surrendered, right? Like how 10 weeks?
10 weeks. And that is exactly why we decided to continue to foster him, because we had him for a week before he was going to go into another foster. And during that time, he started to learn from our dogs. And we figured for his best interest, it was to keep him here so that he continued to learn and didn't get regression.
Right. Well, first of all, we have to clarify one thing. Aggression is not a behavior, right? You are aggressive looking for a parking spot in your shopping center. If you wouldn't be aggressively checking for prices, you will overspend. So aggression is a tool to survive. It's not a behavior. It's a mindset. So if we say a puppy was aggressive, that's inaccurate. The puppy doesn't have these kind of emotions. But he recognized that biting helps, and he learns from observations. We are basically aggressively attacking the puppy because the puppy has a sock in his mouth, and then we're showing the puppy what exactly to do.
And I just saw something that, well,
let me open up. Yeah, let me open it up on my side.
Okay.
Because I can zoom in if that's okay.
Gotcha. Absolutely. I just saw it.
Yep. Where is it? There we go. Ta-da!
And this actually, maybe this could have, well, stopped him from being surrendered.
Right. If they would go through that, the dog would still be in his home. Mm-hmm. So step number 1, give your dog enough healthy meals. Many people only feeding the dogs like 2 or 3 times a day, while the puppy needs 4 times a day and maybe 30% more food than the book recommends.
Do you want this up, Roman?
Yeah, I'm having it up, no? Don't I?
Nope. Now you are.
Here you go.
Yes.
Right,
and we're picture in picture.
Right? Yay. So the next thing we see here is give your dog enough rest and stimulation. Like rest, the puppy needs to sleep 16 to 18 hours a day. He cannot be all over the place all day long. And then the kids come home from school and, the puppy gets super excited. He's too tired, too naughty. And especially in the evening time between 4 and 7 o'clock, puppies are extremely playful, which means if we're not having set certain rules, then the puppy likely will be overstressed and he will start mouthing and biting. Just like little kids that's crying and whining if they're too tired or too hungry. Then we have to respect our dog's triggers and avoidance signals. So how easy is it a puppy to be picked up? We bend over, we pick the puppy up, puppy cute, we squeeze it, we kiss it, we rub the ears, and then we drop the puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and now the puppy knows exactly what those hands will do. They will come up and pick you up, and it's very scary. Well, the only defense mechanism a puppy has is opening his mouth and biting to survive, basically. And if we don't pay attention to those basic signals, they see our hands and our body and our approach as threatening. And the first thing we'll do is biting us because that works best. And of course, we have to keep the puppy stress and fear free. Grooming, nail clipping, washing. How many times have people just forced the dog to certain things without the dog's consent? And then we confuse the puppy with mixed signals. We say differently, we do differently, we say multiple things, we say whole lectures, but the puppy doesn't even understand a word. And so it's confused. We try to train the puppy, but we get more and more confusion. And of course, the famous no. No doesn't mean anything to the puppy. No does not have a consequence. And you cannot have a consequence to a puppy that's supposed in that age to explore the environment and interact with the environment in a safe environment. There should no sock be on the floor and no cable to chew on and no remote control on the table. So the puppy doesn't learn using it, right? And then, of course, we teach the puppy to go in a safe place if it's scared. Now, how many times we have seen kids being in the safe place of the puppy in the crate? It's a cute to make a picture. Or have the baby crawl on the dog's bed while the dog is trying to avoid it. Or puppies jump on the couch because it's elevated, it's protected, they feel safe because they have an overview. And then we push the puppy off that safe place, and then the puppy will be defensive over it. And of course, we offer the puppy safe teething exercise and experience. It's actually very important because the puppy teething, they have to learn how to be exposed to pressure, so the teeth set up correctly. Plus, at the same time, if the puppy doesn't have bite education, then we don't have bite prevention. I hope that makes sense. So there is no way you go through this protocol and your puppy is biting you.
Well, now he could still bite, but if you allow it, if you go through the protocol, you're right.
There is always a reason.
That's right.
For biting.
And Nancy just asked, can we post this link? Well, yep, I think I just did. I think I just did.
Good.
All right. So, and plus, another thing you got to remember is puppies. They have needle teeth, and they don't feel good when they bite you. All right, is that right, Kat?
Oh, that's right. He likes to bite toes.
Toes. Okay, that's because they're there.
That's because they're there, and they're at his level, and so that's what he. So I just give him his chew toy, or I give him a cold washcloth.
Okay, because he's teething.
Yes.
Okay.
Very helpful chew toy is Himalayan cheese. You can almost get it in every store. You cannot basically do wrong. You actually can make it yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's cheese product. It's big enough. He will not be able to swallow it. It's not too hard. I would give it in the range of 1 to 10. I would give it a 6.5 to 7 in a hardness scale. It's softer than antler, and it's yummy. It's actually flavorful. It tastes, and it's dehydrated. You can actually moisten up a little bit if you need to.
So, do you have a link for us to put that recipe?
Yeah, I'll I don't have the link for the recipe, but if you go, let's say for example, Whole Foods, they have it in the pet section. You go online and order it. It's a little bit of expensive, but it chews a long time. Like my big guys, oh, I'm sorry, my friend, I need your bone a little bit. That was 7-inch. Took him a month. Okay, here, you got it back. Sorry.
Okay, so I have a question, Roman.
Yep.
Okay, we covered the 8 steps to keep a puppy from biting. All right. But usually, well, never mind. We've been getting puppies in like we were breeders, okay? But now when they get them for Christmas, the rescues usually start seeing them in, February, late January.
Yeah.
And that stage is already over. So,
yeah,
we have already, because the people are already frustrated and or is it just now the dog has grown into something they never expected?
Well, first, biting is a fear response.
Mm-hmm.
It's a survival response. Dogs will bite to avoid being walked in the cold. Many people forget that the dog's paw gets snow in there and it's freezing, and they have to walk on like stones, kind of hard, and they don't like to walk, and we don't see it. How about you back off a little bit here?
This young man here, that cat has the first 11 weeks of his life, well, approximately forever, however long he was there, they had their expectations raised of his ability. So he was living that first part of his puppyhood as an adult. That's what their expectations were, it seemed like. Okay. But that was short-lived. That was short-lived, and now he's with Cat, and he gets to be a puppy. So
yeah, he was living outside by himself. In fact, he was in the tornado by himself when it came
outside.
through.
Oh, wow.
And the woman said that she heard him crying and her husband wouldn't let him come in.
Well, I have a place for the husband.
That's
okay. And there's a lot of people that do also. So I think that is right, because we don't know why he thought that. All right. We don't agree with it at all in any way, shape, or form. Because this is a life. Okay.
And he's a baby still.
And he's a baby.
Put a baby outside by itself in a storm.
Yeah. Are you seeing any repercussions from all of that at all?
Not really. He's very confident. He has a lot of confidence. He has been playing outside in the rain. He has no problem with storms coming through now. He just needed to know that he had a safe place to come back into.
And he knows that you are safe.
Right. And he knows he goes through the doggy door. And funny thing is that at night when he can't see through the doggy door, he just paws at the door. But he's able to come in whenever he wants, so he feels more confidence.
And that's what we want. We want to give him the knowledge that he gets the confidence. So, wow. So now let's touch back on all of these dogs being surrendered around the country. Of course, naturally we can't. Why? What is there anything, Roman, that can be done, or Glenn or Kat, in your opinion? And this is all this is, man, there's gotta be a way to slow this and eventually stop it.
Spay and neuter?
Yeah. What my dog warden told me today, they also run the Clark County Dog Shelter. All right, that's now county run. They said when they have the clear to shelter days, yep, they clear to shelter. And then usually within 10 days, they've got half of them back. And she thinks, and she's pretty sure that she's not the only shelter that it happens to.
I feel education is what lacks here.
Yeah.
People are not educated. And I think education starts in schools. So I feel if one parent takes it on and going to school and talks about that, then all of a sudden those children, 30, 40 children in each class, will go home and tell the parents about this class. And what happens, how many times have you said no to a child when he tells you, Daddy, this is what you have to do? What do we say? No, you have to do it. Otherwise, you have to deal with it, right? So one child can educate 2 parents and 4 grandparents, which means the networking from the school towards the home is more effective than trying the adults to do that work. It's not going to happen. Children are happy to meet dogs, even if that's a fake dog, teaching the children how to approach dogs. At the same time, if we talk about shelters and adoption, people don't know what to do with once the dog is adopted. They don't understand that a dog cannot just have free roaming in the house. And then all of a sudden we get upset because he got into the pantry. We don't recognize that dogs should have routines and rituals. And then we wonder why the dog starts barking and scratching at the window because nothing is consistent. So there's a lot of trauma happening and we don't see it. Trauma because the dog doesn't feel safe. Why would the dog need to bark to eat and bark to get water and bark to get to the bathroom? It's supposed to be provided at no cost. And also, there's a belief system that nothing in life is for free. I'm sorry, this is a wrong belief system. Plenty in life is for free. All the needs of the dog are for free. Or do you expect the dog to pay you a fee to drink water, go to the bathroom?
Don't talk too loud. My dog can hear you.
So these are things that we have to educate. And I'm preparing a class actually for January to educate people who want to adopt a dog or are adopting a dog or got a puppy, what to do for the first 3 to 4 months. So people have this idea, this 333 thing, which is ridiculous. However, I understand the need of people to have some measure, otherwise they will go all over the place. But emotions and safety is not on a time schedule. It's not in 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months.
Right.
It comes a sequence of events. If he doesn't build secure attachment relationship, he will not feel safe. If you don't feed your dog properly, he will not connect to you. If you're not, interact with your dog and teach him and educate your dog will do his own thing. If a dog comes from trauma and you don't know it, you make things worse. And so people need to understand those things. Otherwise, they don't have to adopt to surrender the dogs.
Now, in those percentages that you had out of the 25%, did they by any chance break that down? I know it's broken down somewhat, but did it get broken down into how much of it was they just couldn't afford the dog because they lost their job in COVID or something like that?
So we have here statistics, and these are statistics of the Pet Finder, where you find dogs, right? And these are statistics 2021, sorry. So owner having personal problems, 4%. Inadequate facilities, 4%. No home available for litter mates, 3%. Having no time for pet, 4%. Pet illness, 4%. Biting, 3%. We don't have separation anxiety here, which is likely to be 40%. Majority of dogs, 47%, are 5 months to 3 months. Of those 47%, 37% are 7 months. 37 are 7 months to a year. Animals acquired from friends are relinquished, higher numbers. So if you get your dog from a friend, by 30% chance you're going to surrender your dog, likely. And very important, 96% have not had training. 96% didn't have training and being surrendered.
Okay.
Now, many people confuse that thinking obedience is the solution. It's not. It's just 10% of what the dog's supposed to learn. The rest are troubleshooting skills. How to meet people, how to interact with others, social education, emotional education, morals and ethics.
Here's the problem. There's not enough time. We have the problem now. Everybody wants to stop this now. Is that impossible?
No, it's very easy. If you have a problem, reach out, give a phone call.
What happens if they don't have the money, and that's why they feel for a trainer, they can afford to feed the dog, but they can't afford the trainer?
Well, many trainers, and I myself too, we have a sliding scale. I never said no to a person who tell me in the beginning, hey man, life sucks. Like, I've been there. I've done it. And so here's the thing. You have a problem, let me help you. But I cannot give you a free session and you don't show up because you have something else to do. It happens.
It does. And we have 2 comments down here. All right. The top one's the first one's a long one. And we're not going to cover it on the show. But Roman, I can almost tell you what he's going to say. Since we don't know who you are, you're more than welcome to message Roman. Okay. And the same way with this one here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of time here if you want to maybe address that one quickly.
Yeah, let's go
if
back
there's
to
a such thing as quickly.
Yeah, well, there's a quickly answer, and there is a more appropriate work around that.
Right.
Is this one here?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the one I just brought up.
Right.
No, I actually brought the other one up.
Oh, which one? You pick which one it was. Okay.
Just pick one.
So this one, how can I help my friend who adopted a rescue Pyrenees? Well, we need to know the age. That makes a big difference. Dogs who come from rescue are not plug and play. They don't come always with a package, but we need to be aware in the very beginning, the dogs start seeing consistent for a walk. People don't respect my space. I feel certain that they want to take away my partner that I'm relying on. Dogs create this, let's call it codependent relationship with their owners. And all of a sudden the dog starts being protective, because what will happen if he loses this person? And he has lost a person before. How did he end up in rescue? Make sense? And so these things are coming up very slowly and we don't pay attention. And the dog has negative thoughts. See it this way. You have thoughts, you have emotion, and then you have behavior. If a dog thinks something bad is going to happen, the fear emotion will kick in and the dog will have a fear response. So our goal is to start educating the dog. That's what's going to happen. It's very structured. It starts like this and it will end like this, always positive. And instantly that will change. Right? If I don't just let it try out and let's see what the dog will do, and then he's pulling me there because the dog wants that to stop from happening. So he has two options: walk away, which he can't, or attacking it, which usually works. And then we set the dog up for failure. And it only needs a short conversation, right? I'll give you an example. My average on all the clients have not spent more than $300, $350 over the years in average. Some people more, some people less. So worst case scenario, it's for free. But I have only a certain amount of pro bono to work with, right?
But you have something else to offer, Roman.
Well, we have classes. We have low-cost classes.
Well,
and I have a lot of documents and my Facebook page.
You have a self-help page, too.
Right.
Your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You've got some targeted videos there, okay?
Yeah.
And
somebody has to search around. I think I have like 200, 300 videos up there.
Yes.
You know, I don't have a video production. I don't have a producer. I don't have a film crew. It's all just me, myself, and I have to hold the camera.
Well, you got your wife.
Right. Well, she's working too.
Yeah.
But if you work through these videos, at least you get an understanding that you don't have to use force and make things worse.
Where's the pup?
So we see very often that people abuse their dogs without knowing it because they did something, somebody told them, and they just watch it on YouTube and it's impressive. Well, slamming the dog with the newspaper on the head makes an impact. Well, that stops things quickly. Well, I can quickly go for free for a taxi ride by pulling a gun to a person's head, and I'm for free traveling. So, but that's not the right thing to do.
And there's another resource out there that people aren't aware of. Rescues aren't just here to take your dog. Okay. There are some resources, breed basic knowledge, some training tips. Okay. Roman's got a good freeze there going on.
There are a lot of communities that have help pantry, pet pantries.
Pet pantries, yes.
Or like here, if you have vet bills that you need help with, there are resources for that too. I mean, most communities want people to keep their pets and find as many ways as they can to help them do that.
Yep. And as a matter of fact, at GPRescue.com, there's a section there that touches on some tips in there too for different behaviors. All right. It doesn't go intense. All right. just breed basic. It's breed knowledge, I believe, is what most of that is. So
Yes.
but there's help there. You don't have to give your dog up.
No.
So there's help. Is there a way to stop this thing? Roman is absolutely correct. Education. All right. But there's quite a few of them that may not be returned for education. What do you think, Kat? Or lack of education?
You know, there's PetSmart, which has a very low cost training program. There are several ways to get training if you don't have it. And like you said before, Roman has a whole library of self-helps on his YouTube page.
Yep. Yes, he does. And I'll tell you, there's some good ones in there. For example, he's got 3 different videos for muzzle training. Okay. I mean, instruction manual, if you may. So, but there's help, and we don't, we got to figure out the rescues and shelters are just overwhelmed. They're bursting at the seams, not just with dogs, but it takes resources. It takes people. It takes money. It takes vets. It just everything. Okay. So if you think you have to surrender your dog, let's do a little bit of leg work and let's look for some help. Okay. It's out there. Help is here. Help is there. Okay. What do you think, Glenn? You think that boy's gonna be a pretty good dog to be adopted?
I think someone's going to be extremely lucky if they get us.
All right. Okay. Well, that is Gus Jr., but he's got a meet and greet tomorrow. That is Pierre. All right.
The back
he's going to go
Pierre.
quickly. He's got a nice looking butt. I will say that.
Yes.
But all Pierres do. All right. And no, his tail does not make his butt look big, in my opinion. And we also have, I helped out Lori for a little while with her Akbosh. Okay. And he's doing well. He's still there. And here's the thing with Lori, giving him up wasn't the equation. We had to heal this. Okay. Giving him up was not the answer. She wasn't doing it. So,
What you doing?
That's what happened there. And that's the attitude that we like to keep. When I was growing up, it wasn't even in our vocabulary, giving up an animal. So
never gave up a dog. Nope.
Never. Because when you get it, it's a commitment. Good, bad, happy, sad. It's a commitment. And you make it be what it is. So
it's family.
My senior dog was somebody who had a 2-year-old, had an 8-year-old, and was pregnant. And I tried to talk her out of getting a puppy, but she was sure that her 8-year-old was going to take care of this dog. So for Christmas, and he is now my dog. I've had him for 14 years. He's 15 years old now. And he is the one that's teaching him good manners.
that's right. What's his name again?
Taz.
Okay.
The 8-year-old named him. I left the name.
And you're right. He is teaching him mannerism. Yes. And he gets to play. He gets to play with your dog, with your dogs. And the cool part is, I think there's 3. Is that correct? Or you have 2?
I have 3.
So they can rotate shifts because he never runs out of energy.
No, he does not.
So, but, and also too, don't forget that Christmas is here. All right. We're going to take the next 2 shows off, the 25th and the 1st. And you guys enjoy your holidays. We're going to enjoy ours. And if a dog comes up that we have to help, that's what happens. Okay. Our family understands that. So they actually encourage it. And because, hey, what the outcome may not be so good. So, thank you, Roman, for coming on here and helping us out with that a little bit. So basically, there's no direct answer or a quick fix here, and because I think there's multiple reasons going on, he listed them. So, all right, thanks everybody for joining us, and we're gonna bug out early, and I got a boy over here that's got to go out, and it's been a busy couple of days, and so does Glenn, and I bet you so does Kat, because he's a youngster.
Well, he just came in from outside.
Oh, okay. All right. And thank you, Lori. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, and however you want to receive it, take it as it may. So we will see you after the first of the year. And I didn't even have a date written down when our next show is, but looks like it will be, looks like right around the 7th, huh? Our next show will be January 8th. And we will see you January 8th, and we'll try to put together a heck of a good show, because we'll have plenty of time to do it. Oh boy, if you believe that. Rescue, there's never time. We don't have enough hours in a day. And there's a lot of days like that. So yes. So what a show. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's been, I can't say it's been the greatest year, because we've had our own problems in the world, but you know, we do everything we can. Holy cow. Look at this. The cat is out of the bag. Live from headquarters. How about that?
Yes, he is beautiful.
And headquarters is in St. Clair, Missouri. And always remember, we're based in Missouri, but we're not limited to Missouri. And on adoptions, and you can be in numerous states to be an adopter. You just have to qualify. Roman, you quit freezing, so thank you so much for coming on. And so don't plan on a show on Christmas, okay? Spend it with your family, all right? Or New Year's. And for those of you that weren't going to drink on New Year's Eve because you wanted to see the show, knock yourself out, all right? Because we'll see you on January 8th. Everybody,
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, and I want to wish a very happy Christmas and a great next year to everybody with Great Pyrenees Rescue in Missouri. They're doing a great job. They are doing a great job. Everybody, it's a village. Kat's part of it. Roman is kind of a part of it. Glenn's a big part of it. And we're going to keep plugging away, right?
Yes.
That's right. That's what helps us breathe. So bye, everybody.
Bye.
I guess all right. We're really going to go now, I promise.